Hi guys, it's Jason Louie from Cobra Golf here. If you're on this YouTube page, you're looking for a little bit more information on how our loft conversion charts work. The first thing you need to understand is that each of our medals has a different loft, indicated by the sticker on the neck of the club. So when you look at a Fly Z driver, you've got something which is in a 9 to 12 degree loft setting, ladies driver 10.5 to 13.5, and then the fairway which is 17 to 20 degrees. So, as you look at one of our loft conversion charts, the one thing that you'll see, it looks like a lot of different numbers. The important thing to note is what each head is able to achieve through different loft setting. Again, with the men with right and left hand, it's 9 to 12 degrees. Ladies is 10.5 to 13.5, and the Fly Z Plus moves from 8.5 to 11.5. For the purpose of this illustration, what you really need to understand is the setting. So the setting down on the left hand side will indicate what loft will be once you use a different shaft and a different head. So the purpose of this illustration is we're going to look at a lady's right hand driver, which has a loft of 10.5 to 13.5 degrees, and then a men's left hand driver, which moves from 9 to 12 degrees. So the purpose of this illustration, we're going to use setting number 5. So what happens in setting number 5 is if you're using a right hand driver, in setting number 5 it will show 12 degrees. If you're using a lady's right hand driver, in the setting number 5, it's going to show 13.5 degrees. So for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to look to see what happens when you're using a left-hand Fly Z driver shaft in a right-hand ladies driver. So, to start with, what we're going to see is the left-hand driver. Now, the one thing that you'll note here is the left-hand driver is set to setting number 5, which in the window, it's going to show 13.5 degrees. When we look at the sticker on the sole of the club, you'll note that the loft can only go from 9 through to 12 degrees, therefore we're not actually able to achieve 13.5 degrees. So if we go back to our chart, the one thing that we know is in setting number 5, it's going to indicate that although the sleeve is showing, or the loft window shows 13.5 degrees, it will actually play as 9 degrees. So for another illustration on this point, let's look at a men's shaft in a ladies driver head. So we're still looking at setting number 5. So when we're looking at the ladies driver, you can see that it's 13.5 in the number 5 setting. However, when we look at the driver head, the one thing that you'll notice is that it shows 9 degrees, although the loft is only able to be achieved through 10.5 to 13.5. For our second example here, we're going to look to see what happens when you swap the shafts between a driver and a fairway wood. The only reason you'd really want to do this would be to experiment with golf clubs at different lengths, that is a shorter driver or a longer fairway. This is of course an extreme example that is unlikely to happen, but nonetheless I just want to explain this and hopefully it will help you to understand our charts a little bit better. So what we're going to do is look at the lofts that we're able to achieve through the men's right hand driver, which is 9 through 12 degrees, and then in the ladies 3-4 fairway, which is 17 through 20 degrees. For the purpose of this exercise, we're going to look at setting number 5 again, which in the men's driver would be 12 degrees, in the ladies fairway it's going to be 20 degrees, so the highest loft settings that you're able to achieve through each of those heads. So, I've already pre-made the drivers up and the fairways up with a different shaft, so what I would like to show you is, if we're looking at the men's driver, which as mentioned we're able to achieve 9 through 12 degrees, the loft window is going to say 20 degrees. So as previously mentioned in that number 5 setting, it's going to play as 12 degrees. It's not actually going to be playing as 20 degrees, even though that's what it shows in the loft window. And vice versa, if we look at that ladies fairway head, we're able to achieve a loft of anywhere between 17 to 20. However, in this instance, we've got the sleeve set to 12 degrees in the loft window. That's the highest loft setting we're able to achieve through that men's driver. So although it says 12 degrees, it will be playing at 20 degrees. So I hope this makes sense, and if you have any questions along the way, feel free to give your rep a call or just send an email to ozorders@cobrapuma.com and we will do our best to explain it in more detail. Cheers.